Hello and welcome to Maths with Jacob. This lesson will focus on the associative law. The associative law for addition tells us that if you add three or more numbers together, you can group them in different ways and still get the same answer. Let's say we wanted to add 2 plus 3 plus 4. So for the first example, let's have 2 apples, 3 apples and 4 apples. We can group the 2 apples and the 3 apples together and add those. That gives us 5. Here we have the 4 apples. 5 plus 4 equals 9. Alternatively, we can group the 3 and the 4 apples together to give us 7. And here we have 2. 2 plus 7 equals 9. So we can group them in two different ways and still get 9. Now, using numbers, if we had 4 plus 5 plus 6, you can group the 4 and the 5 together to give you 9 plus 6 is 15, or you can group the 5 and the 6 together to give you 4 plus 11 equals 15. Excuse me. If you had 4 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8, you can group the 4, 6 and the 7 together. That gives you 17. When you add 8, that gives you 25. Or you can group the 6, the 7 and the 8 together to give you 21 plus 4 to give you 25. You can add 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9. You can group the 6 and the 7 together to give you 13. The 8 and the 9 together to give you 17. 13 plus 17 is 30. Or you can just group the 7 and the 8 together to give you 6 plus 15 plus 9. That also gives you 30. In general terms, which means that it will work for all numbers, if you were to add a plus b plus c, you can group the a and the b together, or the b and the c together, and you'll still get the same answer. The associative law for multiplication tells us that if you multiply 3 or more numbers together, you can group them in different ways and still get the same answer. So if you were to multiply 2 by 4 by 3, you can represent it here by these tiles. So you've got all these individual tiles together, but we can group them together. Okay, so basically you can go 2 times 4, so you have a row of 4 and another row of 4. So that means you've got 2 rows of 4. But altogether you've got 3 of those. So you can do that type of grouping to get 24. Or you can have a group of 4 and another 4 and another 4. So there are 3 rows of 4. See, that's 3 rows of 4. But there are 2 of them. So there's one group there and that one there. So you can have 2 times 4 times 3 to also give you 24. So it doesn't matter which way you group the tiles, you still get 24 with respect to multiplication. Using numbers, if we were to multiply 3 times 4 times 5, you can group the 3 times 4 together. That gives you 12 times 5 is 60. Or you can group the 4 times 5 together. 3 times 20 is 60. If you were to multiply those numbers together, you can group the 3 and the 4 together to give you 2 times 12 times 5 to give you 120. Or you can group the 4 and the 5 together to give you 2 times 3 times 20, which gives you 120. If you were to multiply 4 by 5 by 2 by 6, you can group the 4 and the 5 together to give you 20 times 2 times 6, which gives you 240. Or you can group the 2 times 6 together to give you 4 times 5 times 12, which gives you 240. So in general terms, meaning you can have any 3 numbers, you can have actually more than 3, but let's just pretend we're going to tell you the general rule for 3 numbers. If you multiply a by b by c, you can group a and b together and multiply them by c. You'll get the same answer if you group b and c together and multiply them by a. So this video has introduced us to the associative law for addition and the associative law for multiplication, where we can do different groupings for each and still get the same answer.